Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Patty Center as we get ready for Alaska GNAC women's basketball. The GNACs looking to rebound after their loss on Saturday to the UAAC Wolves and look to get off to a much better start here against the Western Washington Vikings. We take a look at the GNAC standings. Western Washington right now in third place in the GNAC, 9-6 overall and 4-2 in conference play. In Alaska, looking to pick up their first win in conference play. Right now they're 5-8 overall and 0-5 in the conference. So 2 games this week for the Nanoks here at home. They've got a Saturday afternoon game at noon against Simon Fraser. But team looking pretty loose here in the warm-ups as we get ready for this one tonight. So Western Washington again off to a great start with that 9-6 start overall and 4-2 in the GNAC. Top of the GNAC, you got Montana State Billings at 5-0 and Alaska Anchorage at 5-0 as well. So 2 teams undefeated on top. And you've got Simon Fraser, who will be here on Saturday afternoon. They'll be taking on the Seawolves tonight down in Anchorage. We're going to send it down to our public address announcer and meet our starters.
Gymnasium for today's game featuring the Western Washington Vikings. And your Alaska Nanoks! Before the action begins, we ask that you please rise and move all head here for the singing of our national anthem done by Olivia Busby, a junior at UAF studying music education.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Olivia. Now, let's meet the Alaska Airlines starting lineup for tonight's game. Up first, the Western Washington Vikings. Kicking things off for the Vikings at the guard position, number 1, Olivia Wickstrom. Up next at the guard position, number 13, Demi Dykstrom. Up next at the forward position, number 20, Allison Deaver. Up next at the forward position, number 21, Jaden Watts. And running things off for the Vikings at the guard position, number 25, Maddie Granboy. And now, Nanook fans, get on your feet and make some noise for your Alaska Nanoks! From the Fairbanks, California, a junior, number 4, Emily Freeman!
All right, we've got our starting lineups all set for this one with the Alaska Natics taking on the Western Washington Vikings. Saturday, UAA doubling up the Natics 72-36. The Natics only scoring 1 point in the second quarter, and I think was 4 maybe in the third. So the pressure applied by the Seawolves, especially the backcourt pressure, really posed a problem for Alaska. So we'll see what kind of defensive pressure these Vikings start out with here, and we are underway. Natics in the home white jerseys and Western Washington in the white. Alaska controls the opening tip. About 15 below outside here at game time, but expected to warm up considerably as we get into the weekend. Destiny Reimer is trying to go inside, nothing there. Works off the screen by Brady and lobs it up to her. She's able to tap it over to Pilot. Pilot kicks it back out on top. 6 on the shot clock. Lomax looking for some help. 3 on the shot clock, and 3 is good. Emily Freeman, great start for Alaska. Good ball movement by the Nanoks there and hitting that 3 with the shot clock running down. Vikings look to drive left side and switching the hand and scoring is Olivia Wickstrom, the 6'1 senior. Taylor Pilot pushes it back. No full court pressure yet. Early here by the Vikings. And we're going to get a walk on Miranda Lomax. Lomax, a 5'5 junior out of Calumet, Washington. And when you look at the roster for Western Washington, they didn't have to go very far from home. Everybody from Washington except 2 players from Oregon and 1 from Montana. So Pacific Northwest represented here on this Viking team. And that shot comes up just off the mark. And Lomax pushes the pace quickly back down and knocked out by Western Washington. Again, Simon Frazier will be here Saturday afternoon at noon. We just had their hockey team up here last weekend for Alaska Nanac Hockey with an exhibition series at the Carlson Center. Pilot thought about a 3, gives it up. Reimers. That one in and out and off the backboard. Easy rebound for Jaden Watts. Pilot comes over, goes for the steal, and knocks it out of bounds. A little body contact with no whistle. So the Vikings will have it right in front of the scorer's table with 8:14 to go in the first. Demi Dykstra with it. Nanook set up man-to-man defense off the screen. Nowhere to go. Back out on top. Good job by Lomax. Oh, she may have got the arm. And we'll go to the free throw line. Maddie Grand-Boyce will get a pair with 7:59 to go. First foul here in the game. And that's on Lomax for Alaska. Carmen Dolfo, the head coach for Western Washington in her 24th season. Think about those kind of numbers in coaching anymore. That's unheard of. Amy Donovan in her 3rd season here for Alaska. Now setting up in a zone of the Vikings. Kind of a floating 3-2. Pilot at the elbow. Gives up the dribble. Reimers thought about a 3. Good ball movement again. And there's a quick release. And Miranda Lomax hits the 3. Lomax and Freeman both with 3s for the Nanook 6. First sub ready to come in for the Vikings with the Vikings down 2. Nice give and go. They're going to send it back out. 3 ball on the way, and that one off the mark. And good job by Reimers of blocking out there, getting behind that defender, giving her no space on the miss, and Alaska will get it. Livy Stump checks in for Western Washington. Pilot hangs on to it, drives the lane a little strong off the window. No good. Rebound, and quickly back come the Vikings. Boy, wide open, another one. Unable to get there and Again, Pilot inside, doing a great job blocking out on the boards. Lomax gets some space and hands it off to Freeman. Pilot through the Brady screen. Again goes in and unable to finish on the right side. Stump will set it up here for the Vikings. Little jumper short. Brady had it in her fingertips but loses it. Bobby Clark, the 6-foot senior, now in for Alaska. Brady will go to the bench for a breather. Nothing in the paint. Back out on top here. Dykstra. Back to Dykstra. Now on top. Nanook's now in the zone. Easy board for Reimers, and he looks to push the pace. Western doing a good job keeping everything out of the paint, and Reimers working hard and draws the foul on a trip to the free throw line. Maddie Grandboy sets her first team foul on the Vikings. Jada Van Dyke in for Alaska. And Jaden Watts back in for the Vikings. Reimers gets every piece of the rim and it kicks out. Reimers with 13 points Saturday in the loss. Hits the second one. 5 out of 16 from the floor. Also had 9 rebounds and 3 blocks. Good job by Van Dyke just coming in and we're going to get a foul here on top on Lomax, and that's going to be 2 quick ones on Miranda Lomax, and that'll immediately get Anna Nevison up and into the game as Lomax will head over with 2 personals. With about 4.5 gone here in the opening period. Dykstra in front of the Nanook bench. Gives it up to Wickstrom. Wickstrom looks to go to work. Pilot not giving an inch. Still on the defense all over her. And man, Vikings cold right now from outside. Nevison works through the screen. Reimers hands it off. Van Dyke feeds it in nicely and not getting a shot off underneath the backboard. And here comes the Vikings. And up off the glass, no good. And the putback, no good. Boy, Western Washington unable to finish close range. Man, see if they can take advantage of it. The boom! Anna Nevison comes down, top of the key, NBA 3. 6-point Alaska lead. Dykstra. See if she can answer. 10-foot jumper is good. Nice touch for Jaden Watts. Makes it a 4-point Alaska lead. Boy, Alaska playing with much more confidence tonight than we saw Saturday. Reimers! In and out. Boy, all of her shots have done the same thing. They've been in the cylinder and then kicked out. Boy, a 4-0 run right now as Stump hits the jumper at the elbow. So Nevison hits that long 3, and then Western Washington goes on a 4-0 run. Nevison hands it off Van Dyke. Inside Clark, back out Pilot. Drives baseline up and under. Boy, kind of the same thing with her. That's 3. Close range shots, just unable to finish. Wickstrom. Pilot all over her as the Nanooks switch back to the man. We approach 3 minutes to go. Last touched by Jada Van Dyke, and we'll get a media timeout here on the floor. We'll take a break as well. Nanox leading this one by 2, and we'll step aside.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Burgess. An incredible finish by Holmes.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
All right, welcome back here to the Patty Center, a Thursday night women's only game. Here's the men's team, just one game this week, and they will be down in Anchorage taking on the UAA Seawolves Saturday afternoon at the Alaska Airlines Center. And they're doing a pretty cool promotion down there at the Alaska Airlines Center. So the men play at 3 o'clock, and then the ladies down there, the Seawolves, will be playing these Western Washington Vikings at 5:15. But you can get in for free down there in Anchorage. They're doing a soft donations, they're calling, if you can bring like socks or mittens or coats, hats, pillows, sheets. They've teamed up with a couple great organizations down in Anchorage. So we've also got Gov Cup hockey down there as well. So I know a lot of people from Fairbanks will be down there. So if you plan on going down, you can get into those that doubleheader basketball at the Alaska Airlines Center for free. Go watch the men play at 3 o'clock, and then if you can, I don't know if there's any tickets available for Governor's Cup hockey, though, at the Avis Center. 3 on the shot clock. Can they get it off? This would count, and that one in and out. Pilot comes up with a rebound. Tristan Martin checks in for Alaska, as does Taylor T. Luana for the Nanox. Nevison to Martin. Martin looking down low. Van Dyke needing some help, finds it in Anna Nevison. Tristan Martin. Nice bounce pass inside. And we'll get like a hand check, I believe, is going to go on Demi Dykstra. Dykstra's first, second team foul on the Vikings, even with Alaska. Both fouls for Alaska with Miranda Lomax, as she is on the bench for a little spell. Van Dyke in and out, no good, and rebound, Western Washington. That ties us here at 10 with Stump hitting the long 2. Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Jada Van Dyke. Boy, tough pass there, right? Taylor T. Luana and Martin. Nevison to Martin with 3 on the shot clock. The shot will go, and it's good. Tristan Martin with her teammates on the bench counting down the seconds on the shot clock. Put the shot up with about 2 and puts Alaska back up 2. Stump, nobody there. Tried to get the cutter. Now Alaska with some numbers. Pilot kicks it back out. Nevison looks to drive, hangs on to it. Boy, couldn't tell if she was going to take that one right up. I think she almost second-guessed herself and was going to put a fake on. And a quick 3, and there's Wickstrom. And the Vikings with their first lead in the contest. Comes with under a minute to go in the first quarter. Pilot will hand it off Van Dyke. Tijuana to Pilot. Near side, going to work through the Martin screen. Pilot now with 6 on the shot clock. Looking to go to work. Well, she does that Heisman thing, and there's an offensive. As defensive player holds her ground, and Taylor Pilot picks up her first personal. And Emily Freeman will come in with 27.4 on the game clock. Shot clock is off. Vikings up by 1. Pride night here at the Patty Center. See if the Vikings will just let this thing run down and try to hit something with a couple seconds left on the shot clock. Nope, they're going to go for the quick shot, and they get an easy rebound off the window, and good. Vanderyacht. And the Nanooks, as the buzzer sounds, unable to get that one. The Vikings 15, Nanooks 12. At the end of 1, we'll be back for our second quarter. All right, welcome back here as we get ready for the second quarter. The Nanooks led pretty much until the final minute there in that first quarter. And then the Vikings, their last possession, an easy rebound and an easy putback up there in the paint. Olivia Wickstrom with 5 to lead all scorers for the Vikings, and Miranda Lomax, Emily Freeman, and Anna Nevison all with 3 apiece. Wickstrom and Deaver with 2 boards apiece in that first quarter. For the Vikings, Reimers and Pilot with 2. Only block in the game, they've got Allison Deaver with 1. And Reimers and Lomax with an assist each in the first quarter. And Lomax comes back out to start our second quarter with 2 personals that she picked up there in the first. Boy, wide open on that weak side, unable to find her, but they'll put up a 3 instead. And that one air balls by Libby Stump. Again, Carmen Dolfo in her 34th season as the head coach for the Vikings. And Reimers hits the 2. I'd have to say that Dolfo would probably retire from that job. There's 34 seasons there. Her overall record, I'll have to look and see what her overall coaching record is there at Western Washington. As Watts hits a 2, and she has got 4 now as the Vikings lead by 3. Brady back in with it, hands it off Reimers. Reimers looking, and she's going to feed it backdoor. Lomax gets inside, and just unable to get that one to fall. Nice feed by Reimers, and she almost comes up with the steal, knocks it out of bounds instead. Allison Deaver back in for Western Washington. Dykstra at the point. Back to Dykstra. Everything on the perimeter right now for the Vikings. Wow, a walk right in front of the official by Olivia Wickstrom. Must have danced on that pivot foot. Again, for the GNAC standings, Montana State Billings and UAA both perfect still at 5-0 marks in conference play. Anchorage 14-2 overall, and Montana State Billings 16-2 as Lomax goes to drive baseline and nowhere to go, and she steps out, and another turnover here on Alaska. Lomax was kind of committed, and the defender did not budge, and paying over that traveling turnover with a turnover of their own. Open three from the near side, and that one goes. Grand Boyce. Just a second three in the game for the Vikings, but that puts them up by 6 now. Reimers through the Brady screen. Hangs onto it and scores. Reimers with 5 now for Alaska. Brings the Nooks back within 4. Alaska definitely doesn't want to get down. And a back step and out of bounds. So Wickstrom with a travel, and now she steps out of bounds. So Alaska, see if they can get some points off these turnovers here. Freeman. Now Reimers. Lomax draws the defense out on her, lobs it in. Nice pass. Brady with her first basket makes it a 2-point Viking lead. Nice job by Lomax to get the defender out on her and get her up off her feet, thinking she was going to shoot, and then leaves Amelia Brady wide open. 6'4" sophomore and Amelia Brady, and left-handed score. Allison Deaver's first basket. Lomax. Nice, another nice feed. Great ball movement right now by Alaska, and Reimers drains a 3. Destiny Reimers, boy, great ball movement by Alaska, making the defense chase it, but man, just a little bit ahead of the defense, and Reimers scores. Looking to answer. She hit that one in their last possession, unable to get that one to go. Reimers will get the crowd up with this one. Oh, and that one skips off the outside of the 10. Well, that would have fired the crowd up. Back-to-back threes from Destiny Reimers as Jada Van Dyke back in for the Nanooks, and you've got Ellie Brockman and Jaden Watts for the Vikings. Four players suited up on the bench for Western here on the road. Three on the way, and that one no good. Van Dyke gets fouled on the rebound attempt. First foul in the quarter on the Vikings. Second in the game on Maddie Grandboyce. Nanooks look to regain the lead on this possession, which they held most of the first quarter till about the last minute. Freeman takes it back to the point. Reimers far side. Again, working off that Brady's. Oh, man, the roll was almost there. 7 on the shot clock. Tough pass to Brady. She's able to reel it in. Step back 3. That one up. It didn't touch the rim, so shot clock violation as the rebound put back by Reimer is not allowed. Now, if that would have got off the rim, she would have had a chance, so got a media timeout here on the floor. We'll take a break as well. Vikings up by 1.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
All right, we're back here out of the media timeout. 1-point game here. Keeping this one close. Mentioned in that game on Saturday, Alaska, boy, they got just shut down in the second quarter. Only scored 1 point. And I believe I'd have to look back at the score sheets, but the third quarter didn't go much better for them as well, but definitely playing much more confident here tonight against the Western Washington Vikings. Nanooks right now shooting 35, almost 36% from the floor, hitting 5 out of 14 attempts. 3 out of 6 behind that three-point line for 50%, and 1 out of 2 at the charity stripe. Destiny Reimer is the only Nanook to the free throw line so far in the contest. There's Wickstrom with it. Behind the back dribble to get inside. Boy, good job by her hanging on to that as she had Clark challenging her. 7 points for Wickstrom now. And a foul on the floor on Wickstrom. 6'1" senior out of Bainbridge Island, Washington. Played at Utah State before coming to Western Washington, and now a player control foul on Alaska. It's going to go on Bobby Clark. First team foul on the Nanooks, and the second, 2 so far on the Vikings. Neither team is yet to be shooting any of the bonus yet. Good defense by Clark, knocking it out of the hands of Watts. 7 on the shot clock, and Reimer strips it away. 4 on the shot clock, 3. That one no good. Pilot and Wickstrom chasing after it, and Wickstrom comes away with the board. And Wickstrom gets free and too strong. Pilot pulls it down. Reimers thought about a 3. Back to Tiulana, who checked in out of the media timeout. Or excuse me, that's Freeman. And Pilot finally gets a close one to go. Taylor Pilot, that's her first basket. Had some good looks in that first quarter, but over 3 from close range. Vikings snap the twine with Watts. 3-point Viking lead. Wide open 3. Boy, a good look at right there, but nobody in there for the board for Alaska. You can see Mondo Nike up helping out Amy Donovan there on the bench. Turnover Vikings. We'll get a couple subs. Anna Nevison back in for Alaska. And Tristan Martin as well. I believe Maddie Grandboys came in. And Allison Deaver for the Vikings. Nevison. Good look at it. Unable to get it to go. Boy, backing her way in and taking Nevison with her was Deaver. Boy, wide open 3. No good. And Deaver with the board and a held ball. And the possession arrow will go Alaska's way as Taylor Pilot tied her up. Can see the volleyball team down there behind the bench. Good to have a lot of our teams back now and student athletes back. We had a skeleton crew on Saturday here at hockey. Nate was running the computer and the camera at the same time. And it had like 2 people at the table. And they're all sending their requests in there to DJ Elena Guck, I'm sure, telling her what to play here. Lead still at 3 as we get down to the 2-minute mark here in this first half. Oh, that pass too hard. And the Nanooks now, good opportunity here to get some points here off the turnovers. Again, the hockey team down in Anchorage on Saturday night for game number 3 of the Gov Cup Series. Then they'll be back here January 31st and February 1st for the first Gov Cup games at the Carlson Center. Nevison. Was trying to get a foul call there, but man, somehow the ball kind of landed right in her lap and put it up maybe a little too quickly. 90 seconds to go. 3-point Viking lead. Oh, watch out. Tristan Martin collides. No call here and a tie-up, and I believe the possession arrow does favor the Vikings. Last year, the Vikings finished 24-7 overall on a 14-4 GNAC mark. And Alaska forces the turnover. And again, another opportunity here to capitalize and get some points. Great job. You hold your team, your opponent scoreless there on their possession. Force the turnover. Now you got to get something. And Reimers underhands that one, and it rolls off. Under a minute left in the second quarter. Open three, high arcing shot, and that one is good by Allison Deaver. All 5 of hers here in the second quarter, and now it's a 6-point Viking lead. Reimers. Oh, as Jada Van Dyke goes for it and got it off the player like she was trying, but stepped out of bounds first, and now you got a 3-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Well, are they going to review that? I don't think so. What are they? Not sure what the conversation was, but it'll stay Viking ball. And again, 3-second differential between the game and the shot clock. Reimers almost strips it away. Oh, wide open. And it goes for Libby Stump with 8 points. Now, Nanoks, 13 seconds left in the quarter. See if they can get something here. Now down to 8. Pilot down to 4. 3, takes it in and scores. Taylor Pilot finishes it there for Alaska. So the Nanoks will go to the locker room trailing by 6. So a great end there for Alaska to get something there with time running down. So we'll go to halftime with the Vikings leading 31-25.
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
All right, it's halftime here at the Patty Center. Vikings leading this one 31-25. Taking a look at the scoring here. First for Western Washington, pretty balanced scoring. Libby Stump right now, your leading scorer with 8. 7 for Olivia Wickstrom, 6 for Jaden Watts, and 5 for Maddie Grandboyce, and 5 for Allison Deaver. Vikings right now shooting 13 out of 29 from the floor for just under 45%. 3 out of 11 behind the three-point line for 27%, and they're perfect 2 for 2 at the free throw line. 6 turnovers in that first half for the Vikings and 20 rebounds to Alaska's 13 for the Nanooks. Nobody in double digits yet here for either team. Destiny Reimers leads Alaska with 8. And you got Taylor Pilot with 4, and then a bunch of other players with 3 and 2 for Alaska, who's shooting 37% from the floor. They hit 10 out of 27. 4 out of 10 behind the three-point line for 40%, and they've only been to the free throw line once, and Destiny Reimers hit 1 out of 2 there, and just 5 turnovers for Alaska. So doing a great job of keeping this one close here as the Vikings, again, third place with a 4-2 mark in the GNAC. They won 4 of their first 6 conference games. Since the start of the new year, they've gone 3-1 with wins over Western Oregon, St. Martin's, and Central Washington. Head coach Carmen Dolfo picked up her 700th career win in their last game against Central Washington in a come-from-behind. So 700 wins in her 34 seasons with Western Washington. So definitely hanging on to that job. A great job to be there that long. For Alaska, Destiny Reimers leads the team with 12.8 points per game. She's also the top rebounder, averaging 6 boards per game. And Taylor Pilot, with 3 assists per game, leads the team and then ranks 14th in the GNAC. And she's got the second most steals in the conference with 3, putting her 13th in all of Division II women's basketball. Nanooks coming in this one, second in the GNAC in three-pointers per game, knocking down an average of 8.8, and that puts them 12th in the nation. So we'll see if we can get them heated up here again behind that three-point line as we get ready for the second half. Nanook swim team hosting Westmont College this Friday and Saturday, a pair of dual meets here at the Patty Center Pool. Here's going to be Alaska's final home meets of the season, so Friday at 5 and then Saturday at 10 a.m. You can go to AlaskanAnnex.com and you can watch it there on the stream as well, and you can also keep up with all the different sports teams and their schedules and all the live streams and everything. We mentioned that the men's basketball team down in Anchorage on Saturday taking on the Seawolves, and that is a GNAC battle there. I believe Alaska right now 3-3 in the GNAC, and Seawolves I think are 4-2 if I'm not mistaken. So that's going to be a great Saturday afternoon matchup. They're going to have the guys playing first at 3 o'clock, and then the ladies will take on Western Washington at 5:15. And, of course, you've got Nanook hockey down there for game number 3 of the Gov Cup Series, which is tied 1 game apiece, as we were in Anchorage earlier in 2024, and we split down there. So it's a big game. It's a 6-game series, so you want to get that little extra lead there, and then we'll be coming back to Fairbanks for Gov Cup hockey. But after Saturday, the Nanooks will head, I believe, back to the East Coast, play again, and then they'll be at home for games 4 and 5, January 31st and February 1st for Gov Cup hockey, and then February 8th, the 6th and final game in the Gov Cup series will be at the Carlson Center, and that is going to be the final home game for Alaska Nanook hockey. It's been an interesting season with Carlson Center under renovation, and they started out the season at the Big Dipper, where the Fairbanks Ice Dogs play, and then they were out on an extended road trip with a couple trips to the East Coast and been hitting some tournaments, but with some great crowds there last weekend with the exhibition series against Simon Fraser. which the Nanoks won the first game. It took them to overtime and then won on Saturday night. It was a sweet deal on Friday night as the 50-50 pot. Nobody claimed it at the last home series. Or wait, that was Saturday night. No, so Friday night, nobody claimed the 50-50 pot, so it started out at like $4,600, and it grew to over $15,000 for that 50-50 pot. So people were definitely buying up those tickets, and great crowds there. So expect more of that when we finally get to come home and have the Gov Cup Series final 3 games in Fairbanks. And again, you can follow along with everything. Go to AlaskaNanoks.com. We're 4 minutes away from the start of the second half. We'll take another time out here and run a couple ads for you here, and then get ready to come back for second half action with the Vikings leading your Nanoks 31-25.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
All right, welcome back to the Patty Center, reminiscent of 70s night from last Friday at the Carlson Center with ABBA on here. Right now, 6-point Viking lead. Take a look at some of the other sports. Volleyball now starting to announce some of their recruits coming in. They just announced that they signed Perry Hoshuk, a transfer from Division I, the Citadel. Head coach Brian Scott says, we feel very fortunate to have Perry join our program. Perry's a very talented middle blocker that moves very well along the net and will be a great threat both blocking and attacking. And we are looking forward to what she can do and how she can make Nanoks volleyball better. She hails from Lake Stevens, Washington, and before attending the Citadel was a 4-year letter winner for the Vikings volleyball team at Lake Stevens High School. She was a second-team All-State selection. So, getting some more talented players coming up here to Alaska after a great season by the Nanook volleyball team. And now they're student workers for basketball and hockey as they've all now returned from their Christmas break. Then on Saturday, we've got your Alaska Nanook women back here at the Patty Center, and we'll be taking on Simon Fraser. Tip-off scheduled for noon, and then all our teams will be out on the road next week. Going to give me a chance to get a nice little vacation in and go to Arizona and escape the cold. But it hasn't been a bad winter at all. I mean, we just came out of a 30 above streak, and it was 40 degrees above zero last week, which is unheard of in January. Anchorage had some wild weather, 100-mile-an-hour winds. So, yeah, you never know what you're going to get up here. And then we had a couple days of cold temperatures and going to steadily warm up as we get into the weekend and expect highs back into the mid-20s. So if you're an outdoor enthusiast and wintertime activities, there's a lot to do here in Alaska. And we are underway. The Nanooks will have the ball to start the second half, trailing by 6. And Reimer's trying to thread that in between a bunch of the black jerseys, and the Vikings come away with it. And Reimers gets in there and ties it up, and the possession arrow will stay on the Vikings end. Tough pass by Reimers on that opening possession. Boy, wide open at the free throw line. Now looking inside. Back out on top. Good ball movement by the Vikings. Just stepping in the paint. And it gets the roll for Deaver, who now has 7. And an 8-point Viking lead. Reimers open 3. That one spins in and out. Had everybody on the bench up onto their feet there, and that one just goes out. Vikings looking to go inside. And Reimers swats it away, comes up with it, and hands it off to Brady. So Reimers working hard on the defensive end. Nanooks definitely need some points here, and this would be a big one, and that one off the glass, no good. And Brady comes and ties that one out, and possession arrow, Alaska. So Alaska coming out a little bit cold here to start the second half. Conversation on where they should have the ball, and Alaska will have it on their baseline. And Pilot needs to step out of bounds, and now they'll give it to her. I weren't sure if it was going to be on the sideline or there on the baseline. Out on top to Freeman. Reimers just trying to work with a double team on her. Someone's got to help her out. Now she finds Lomax. Down to 4 on the shot clock. Puts up a prayer unanswered. And the Vikings will get another chance to add to their lead. Checking her feet, step back 3. That one no good. And coming in for the board is Maddie Grandboyce. This is Wickstrom. And she loses the handle, and now a 3-on-2 opportunity for Alaska. Reimers kicks it out to Freeman. Vikings defense gets down quickly and recovers well. Pilot. Freeman on top. She'll just hand it off to Destiny Reimers in her senior season here for Alaska. Multiple Alaska State High School championship winner. And a foul on that pass, trying to feed it inside to Brady, but getting the body. Looks like that's going to go on Libby Stump, and that's going to be her first team foul here in this third quarter. Nanooks, they lob it in, but tough pass, and Vikings steal it away. Oh, and Brady and Pilot still hustling for it down on the ground, and now still loose. Pilot able to bail it out to Brady, and she's going to send it up to Reimers. Reimers shot blocked. And here come the Vikings quickly back in transition. Brady gets tied up. Boy, that's Maddie Grandboy's kind of reaching around behind her and gets wrapped up with Brady as the two bigs down there battle for it. And the possession arrow goes Viking way. Just one basket here in this third quarter, and that going to the Vikings. Reimers back to Pilot. Pilot looks to drive, gets in there, and her shot blocked. 2 blocks in this quarter now for the Vikings as Pilot bites on the fake, and Wickstrom steps in and scores. She's got 9 for the Vikings now, and now it's a 10-point Western Washington lead. 4-0 run to start this third quarter for the Vikings. Reimers looking to put an end to that. Brady for 3. Off the mark. Another Vikings rebound, dominating the boards here in this third quarter. Jada Van Dyke gets ready to check back in. Boy, making it look easy there is Demi Dykstra. Now it's a 6-0 start for the Vikings, and Amy Donovan is going to take a timeout, and that'll probably turn into a media timeout. Well, they're going to say it's going to stay at 30, so we'll keep it here, but usually that'll turn into the media timeout. But the Vikings now leading by 12, starting out on a 6-0 run to start this third quarter. So Alaska needing to answer here and get right back into this thing. Again, see if they can get something to start falling from long range and start hitting some threes. Again, we got Saturday basketball action here with the ladies at noon taking on Simon Fraser. Simon Fraser down in Anchorage tonight, taking on the undefeated Seawolves in GNAC conference play. Again, you can follow along. Go to AlaskanAnnex.com, and you can just hit the link there for your team that you're going to follow. And it's also got the links there for how you can watch those games. You'll be able to watch the Gov Cup game from Anchorage there on the YouTube feed, or Bruce Check will have the call for you on KSUA Radio and KSUARadio.com. So lots of ways to stay in touch with Alaskan Athletics on the road and at home. And I know so many parents and actually grandparents as well watching these teams. We get a lot of messages from volleyball parents from all across the country. Nanox now, as we get down to close to the halfway point of this third quarter, yet to score in the third. Lomax looking to end that, and that one long rebound. Pilot chases it down. She'll find Reimers. Reimers drives left side, and too strong off the glass. And a foul on Taylor Pilot on the rebound, and that's going to be number 2 on her, just the first team foul on Alaska in the third. Nanox now definitely need to come up with a stop. They were down 6 at half, and now down by 12. It's a 6-0 start for the Vikings. Calling for it inside is Watts. Still not getting it to her. Now they feed it into her. As Bobby Clark back in for Alaska. 8 on the shot clock. Lomax bites on the fake, and that one doesn't go. And Watts comes up with it and then throws it out of bounds. And now that'll bring up the media timeout. We'll take a break as well with the Vikings leading by 12. Welcome back here with the Vikings leading Alaska here by 12. A 6-0 start for the Vikings in the third quarter. Boy, this is reminiscent now of what happened in that second quarter with the Seawolves here last Saturday. So Alaska needing to start getting into this scoring column. Can ill afford to get down much more than this right now, trailing by 12. It was a 6-point Viking lead at halftime. Alaska right now, 10 out of 35 from the floor, 28%, and 4 out of 14 behind that three-point line. And still just one trip to the free throw line with Destiny Reimers back in the first quarter, going 1 for 2. Nanoks with 15 boards to 29 for Western Washington. So Western dominating it on the glass here on both ends of the floor, but definitely picking up a bunch of defensive rebounds here in this third quarter. Van Dyke, Reimers, little jumper, and the shooting woes continue for Alaska in the third. Big time for a defensive stand right now for the Nanoks. And Bobby Clark there, and offensive foul as Clark hits the deck. And Dykstra picks up number 2 as she hit the floor as well and shaking off the cobwebs right now. As Clark did not give. Clark with it on top. Lomax near side down to Clark. She's going to try to get inside and does. Boy, and again is foul on the floor as Jada Van Dyke hits the floor. And that's going to be quick back-to-back fouls on Dykstra, I believe. And that's number 3 on her, and third team foul on Dykstra. Well, they're going to keep her in there. Libby Stump will check out as Anna Vanderyacht back in. Vanderyacht with 2 points in the game. Boy, long 3 and another nice block out by the Vikings. Jada Watts and Jada Van Dyke on the Alaska side going to get whistled for the foul in the backcourt. Man, it's going to have to start coming up and trying to get some turnovers and trying to force it there was Jada Van Dyke. That's her first, second team foul on Alaska. Van Dyke, good job on the D. 3 ball, that one is good. And Dykstra, after picking up 2 quick fouls, hits a 3. Clark wide open, gets the football pass, and again, Alaska unable to finish. Still scoreless. 6.5 gone in the third. (9-0) differential here in the third quarter, all in favor of Western Washington. And now 11-0 run. Dykstra hits. 7 points for her, and all here in the third. Boy, that one trying to force it in there and knocked out, though, by Deaver. Martin and Nevison back in for Alaska. See if we can get something going. Shuffling in different personnel right now for the Nanoks. Somebody left the door open, and it's 15 below, and Martin. Oh, and Taylor Pilot is going to pick up number 3. Actually, that's on Van Dyke, so it was number 2 on Van Dyke. So looking at Pilot, she had kind of a puzzled look on her face, like she wasn't near the action there. So Van Dyke picks up her second and the third team foul on Alaska, 3 on the Vikings. Pull-up jumper is good for Libby Stump. Libby Stump now with 10 points. .220 and counting here. Van Dyke looking inside, nothing there. Lomax with it. 6 on the shot clock, puts that up high over the defender. And again, Alaska. Ice cold and up and under, and that one doesn't go. And rebound Vikings, and Tristan Martin strips it away from Allison Deaver. Lomax, we need this one. That one doesn't go. Boy, as the shooting percentage is going down and down here for the Nanooks. Open at the free throw line. Rebound. Lomax. 90 seconds away from going scoreless here in the third for Alaska. Martin on top. Nevison. Gives it up. Jada Van Dyke. Van Dyke hangs on to it, feeds it in, and stolen away as Tristan Martin hits the deck. Boy, and a little jumper for Libby Stump. And Libby Stump was calling for a timeout. She's going to get it here by Alaska. 30-second timeout. We'll just keep it right here. Boy, Alaska now trailing here by 21. We're down 6 at halftime, and they've yet to score. 15-0 differential for the Vikings here in the third quarter. Boy, Nanooks were just right in this, and they led pretty much almost the entire first quarter and just outscored 16-13 in the second quarter, and now 15-0 scoring differential in favor of the Western Washington Vikings. So Vikings must have got some energy gel there at halftime in the locker room and dominating right now here in this third. Van Dyke, boy, that came off even awkward, and that one goes out, and the Vikings will get it right back. Nanooks have not shown any full court pressure, neither have the Vikings yet here in this one. Wickstrom. She's got 9 in the game. And we're going to get a push off on Lomax, and that's going to be number 3 on her. We'll see if head coach Amy Donovan leaves her out there for the final 30 of this third quarter. And you definitely don't want to pick up foul number 4 with under a minute to go in the third. Wickstrom for 3, no good. Rebound, Vikings, but a foul first on the rebound attempt, and I believe that's going to go on Watts, and that's going to be her first. 4th team foul on the Vikings. Shot clock off. Alaska with 19 seconds to work with to try to score here in this third quarter. Van Dyke, right side, gives it up. Freeman, Lomax, oh boy, and they throw it away, a little miscommunication. I don't know if that was going to Brady or if it was supposed to be going to Emily Freeman. Instead, it goes to the Vikings, and they've got 2-1. It'll count, and it goes at the buzzer. And it's a 3 as the Vikings hit it with the buzzer sounding. The red light sounds as it hits the glass. 49-25. We'll be back.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
All right, welcome back here. As that third quarter completely belonged to the Western Washington Vikings, outscoring Alaska 18-0. 10 points for Demi Dykstra all in that fourth quarter. Libby Stump with 12 points to lead everybody. Alaska yet to get a player into double figures. Destiny Reimer's knocking on that door as she leads the Nanooks with 8. So Alaska is definitely searching for an answer now, and they will get the ball to start the fourth quarter, and they're hitting 23% from the floor, 10 out of 43 attempts, and 23 behind the three-point line, 4 out of 17. Boy, that defensive pressure is not letting up at all here by the Vikings. Van Dyke, that one in and out, and another, well, the rebound is loose. And Jada Van Dyke, watch out. As officials say last touched by the Vikings. I think they're going to review that maybe. I don't know if this is a reviewable call, but head coach Dolfo was up. So Alaska will keep it. Nevison thought about a three. Now a Euro step, and that is blocked by Jaden Watts. Alaska with it with 14 on the shot clock. Freeman gives it up to Pilot. Three ball on the way. Boy, and again, just nothing going for Alaska right now. Now we're going to see some full court pressure by Alaska. Van Dyke almost comes up with a steal. Ellie Brockman back in. And Cece Size, looks like she's going to get ready to check in. Three ball, no good, but another rebound for the Vikings. Free throw line shot, no good. Nevison looks for some help. Taylor Pilot goes left side and scores. Taylor Pilot, first basket in the second half for Alaska. And that'll bring in Allison Deaver and Cece Size, 5'7" freshman, her first time into the game for the Vikings. When I see Demi Dykstra over there with a towel on her nose, not sure if she got popped in the nose and taking care of a bloody nose, but she's over there with a trainer attending to her. It'll be Viking ball. Boy, they break the pressure easy. In and out. Maybe the cold streak will find its way to the Vikings. Nevison calling for a screen. Brady will bring it up. And she's open on the, oh boy, and picked off by Maddie Grandboyce. And she goes all the way and scores. 7 points for her. 51-27 Vikings. Pilot. Working that pivot foot, no good. Brady reaches up and over, and a walk on Amelia Brady, 6'4" sophomore in her first season for Alaska. Amelia Brady out of West Jordan, Utah, played at Dominican University of California before coming to Alaska. Now they'll pressure the ball here in the backcourt. Nanooks looking to regroup here on defense, kind of out of sorts right now. And Wickstrom makes them pay. Wickstrom with 12. Reimers, see if she could get something going for the Nanoks. Tristan Martin getting ready to come back in. Boy, and a moving screen on Amelia Brady. Kind of switched her direction and was moving just a little bit, and they're going to call that one every time, and Tristan Martin will come in for her. First team foul on Alaska, first foul on Amelia Brady. Wickstrom thought about it, gives it up. And that's going to go on Tristan Martin with the block. Her first second team foul in Alaska. Vikings yet to commit a personal here in the fourth quarter. Boy, again, 18-0 differential in that third quarter. Right now a 5-2 differential in the fourth. Vikings will keep it on their baseline. Wickstrom. Now they feed it inside. Yeah, we'll go back to the free throw line. We haven't been at the free throw line very much. Second foul on Martin. Deaver, her first trip to the free throw line. First one is good. 3 for 3 now at the line. So just a second trip for the Vikings to the stripe. And they stay 100%, now 4 for 4. 29-point Viking lead. Boy, Martin had it, but it could not bring it in. Taylor Pilot getting some work done over there at the trainer's table. And here's a steal, and here comes Reimers, hangs on to it and scores high up off the window. And Reimers, your first Nanook, into double digits with 10. 6 minutes to go here in regulation time. Wickstrom hangs on to it, checks everybody behind her. Open three. Looking to drive in. Martin closes off that lane. Back inside, Deaver with 7 on the shot clock. A 3 instead, and that's good. Maddie Grandboyce. 10 points for her. 30-point Viking lead. Haley Warham in street clothes. Martin keeps that one from going out. Taylor Tiluana gets whistled for a walk. We see that a lot. They do that first step back. Van Dyke will head out and get a breather. Taylor Pilot to the front of the bench. She'll be coming back in shortly. Oh, and a collision, and it's going to be another foul here on Tristan Martin, and that's her third. And Anna Nevison comes up, and I believe we're going to get a media timeout here on the floor, so we'll take a break as well. 59-29, Vikings on top.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
All right, we're back here. Media timeout. Vikings in control, leading by 30. Again, that third quarter 18-0 run does not help Alaska. 10-4 differential here in the fourth. Boy, Alaska started out in that first half playing with some confidence. They held the lead for the majority of the first quarter. Went into halftime just down by 6. And then that's when the Vikings just started taking over, and the Nanooks just had nothing go for them. And it shows there in that scoring column as they were scoreless in the fourth. Also, the Vikings right now dominating on the boards. 40 rebounds for Western, 24 for Alaska. Stepping on the sideline is Demi Dykstra. So Alaska will get it back. Now they got the clock started. Tijuana, see if she can get something going. Draws a double team, still able to put up a shot and get a trip to the free throw line. Taylor Tijuana, also a high school state champion a couple times over with Anchorage Christian School with Destiny Reimers. Hits her first one. Anchorage Christian School now goes by Mountain City. Multiple girls state championships there. High school basketball season underway again here in 2025. I think all of our local teams are out on the road down to Anchorage and the Valley at Colony for some tournaments. Starting to get into conference play in our local high schools as well now. Good ball movement. Short rebound, though, Vikings. Taylor comes up with the board. And Reimers surveying the floor and hangs on to it, goes left side, and strong and off the glass. Brady with the board, back to Reimers. Baseline jumper, no good. Boy, the basket on the net again has just not been friendly at all. And count the basket for Watts. She's got 8 with a chance to go to 9. Tijuana with her first. 15th foul in Alaska, so now and hits it, the and one. Watts with 9. And Nanooks come up empty again, and Watts with the board. Taylor Pilot putting on some pressure in the backcourt. And that's going to be number 4 on Miranda Lomax. See anybody coming up. I think head coach Donovan will let her play it out. And shooting the bonus, double bonus time here. This will be Vanderyacht with a high arcing free throw that goes. Just one team foul on the Vikings in the fourth. And that one in and out and stops the perfect streak from the line for the Vikings. Again, head coach Carmen Dolfo in her 34th season with Western Washington picked up her 700th win, their last win. And the putback is good by Brady. Brady with 4. That should be a pretty good matchup down in Anchorage with the Seawolves and the Vikings. And Lomax will head over to the bench. Taylor Pilot back in for the Nanooks. 2:45 to go in regulation, 30-point Viking lead. Oh, trying to no-look pass off Brady's shin. Taylor Pilot with Reimers. She looked no-legs to her. Spin move and score. Destiny Reimers with 12 to lead all Nanooks. Oh, 2-on-1 opportunity. Pilot up in the air, and Watt scores, 11 for her. Another turnover on the Nanooks. Here's Brockman, gives it up. Watt. Far side three, short. Reimers chases it down. She's got Freeman up ahead of everybody. Oh, and Freeman slow to get up. I don't know if I don't know if it like kind of a stuttered step, something happened there, but able to get up on her own. And Jada Van Dyke will come in for her. But a nice pass up ahead by Reimers to Freeman, and losing her footing. And the Vikings will get it back. And T. Luana with the foul, and we'll go back to the free throw line. That'll stop the clock with 1:39 to go. Cece Size, her first trip to the line. And her first point. Size out of Missoula, Montana. Hits the second one. Played for Sentinel before going to the Vikings. And we'll see Grace Gillespie in there now. Former Houston Hawk from down in the Valley. Wide open backdoor pass. Oh, and watch out, Jada Van Dyke. Hits the deck as Size got underneath her. But it'll be just on the floor. And Jada Van Dyke probably stunned she was so open. Pilot with it on the baseline. Still looking for help. Gets the triple team. Gillespie. Here's Van Dyke with 5 on the shot clock. And that one, no good. 60 seconds remaining. Watt. Strong move inside. No good. And Reimers skies in, but I think the foul. So Alaska now down to 45 seconds and counting. Pilot. Reimers loses the handle, and it'll go back to the Vikings. There'll be a 7-second differential on the game and the shot clock. Boy, for Amy Donovan, trying to get this group to stay positive. I mean, they came out looking really loose and had a great first quarter. At halftime, we're just down by 6, and then things just kind of unraveled in the third as the Vikings outscored them 18-0. 18-10 differential here in the fourth, down to our final 8. And Gillespie gets in and scores. And see if she is fouled here. And now the Pizza Hut delivery of the game. Is it coming out? There they go. Down to our final 4-3. And that is going to do it as the Vikings take this one 67-37. Destiny Reimers with 12 to lead Alaska. But, man, they're going to have to regroup, and they're going to have to get ready for Saturday afternoon at noon here as the Vikings will head down to Anchorage, and they will take on the Seawolves Saturday afternoon at 5:15. So you can get all your final stats and everything if you go to AlaskanAnnex.com. But, man, all story all there in that third quarter as an 18-0 run here for the Vikings in the third. So that's your final. Vikings 67, Nanox 37. I'm Ken Viemeyer for everybody here at the University of Alaska Fairbanks. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you here Saturday afternoon at noon. Have a good night, everybody.
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.